Welcome to episode 2. I'm going to look at the Q Star, Z Star, Z Star XV and Z Star Diamond with a 7-iron to see what the difference in flight, height, spin and control is for these golf balls for 2024. During episode 1, I had a look at how these golf balls compare to each other on the wedge. We had a 60-yard shot and a 116-yard shot. Jump into that video if you want to see what the results are in spin rates and stuff from that. This is the Q Star golf ball. It has a lower compression. It squashes more, so it gets more squash and release off the face at certain speeds. What does it do with my 7-iron? We shall see. I have missed just to the right-hand side, but that's okay because I'm looking at the raw data. If I get this pin, if I get aiming at the pin, that would help. There we go. Tiny bit thin. Might have to ignore that one. That was a bad swing. Through the ball. There we go. Going to come back to that ball shortly. Now we go Z Star. This is said to be the Pro V1 equivalent, often referred to in the shops if you're looking at golf balls, just at a lower price point. Very nice. Oosh, I do not want that shot back. Well, I want that one back though, it's a bit of a push. Why am I pushing it? What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit one bad shot with each club, just to give myself a chance to do more swings. Through the ball. Nice. Now we go XV. The XV is the harder of the balls, has a firmer core, so you need more speed, more energy into the ball to get it to squash and release off the face. But with a wedge, we saw an increase in spin even at a slower speed. So even though it wasn't getting the ball to react as much, it still had a bit more reaction and spin as it went into the greens. And then we go to the Diamond, which is said to be a bit more stable in the middle end of the bag, which is exactly what Brooks Koepka wanted from the golf ball when they designed it for him. Push. There's my bad shot, now 2 good ones. I'm just going to cycle through a few shots with each golf ball just to save you the boring bit, and then we'll have a look at the data. Absolutely ripped. Bosh. Oh, rushed it. Nope. Carry was good. Yeah, balance. Ugh. Diamond. XV. Z Star. And Q Star. So when we're looking at the data on all these shots here, I'm getting pretty consistent yardages here. Like I'm getting 186 with all 3 golf balls. I'm getting that a little bit more from the Q Star. It's not faster, but it's lower spinning. So that lower spin, where that spin rate cuts through the air more, makes the ball travel that little bit further. 5,500 to 6,500 is where I'm looking at for most spin rates for most players at retail. 7,000 is what you're looking for as a tour player because they're playing on much harder surfaces. They need the ball to stop a lot more. At about 5,500, 6,000, you get a bit more distance, and that's what a lot of people are driven for. But I'm quite liking these numbers, so subtly different. There's not much difference between them really. Like maybe a little bit of like strike. I changed them a little bit, but we're pretty uniform there. We're getting lower launch with the Z Star Diamond. We're getting very similar speeds between the 3 as well. Highest launch coming from Z Star XV and Z Star, fairly similar to be fair. Higher launch here, higher launch, lower spin. Lower launches, higher spins with the premium urethane Z Star balls. So the Z Star XV and the Z Star Diamond, the peak heights change. The highest point the ball reaches is higher up with the XV and lower with the Z Star Diamond. So that could be what they're talking about in terms of that stability in the wind, because it doesn't reach as high a peak height. It doesn't get affected by the wind as much. And it's often referred to on tour that on a windy day, on a windy tournament, it's quite often a Srixon golfer that's kind of up there. Potentially because the golf ball's more stable in the winds, they don't get as much deflection, don't get as much variance when the wind's blowing. But 106, 112, but very similar at 111, very similar at 112 with the Z Star and the Q Star. So I haven't seen massive differences there at the 7-iron range with all 4 golf balls. Like, there's higher launch, lower spin with the Q Star. That separates itself from the other 3. The Z Star and the Z Star XV, fairly similar between the 2. You just got harder feel, softer feel really for me, but not a lot of separation in distance. Again, I hit the same yardage with all of them. The main one there is the Z Star Diamond, because the Z Star Diamond did it all at a lower peak height. It didn't reach as high a point, so windy days quite good. If you need to get the ball up and over trees and cut corners quite a lot on your home golf course or on a golf course you're going to, the Z Star and the Z Star XV are just going to be a little bit better equipped to do that, potentially. You might need to watch the next video where I hit the drivers to really see how that levels out, whether it stays consistent at the top end of the bag. But lots of things to consider. Episode 1's that way, episode 3's that way.